Hello, residents of the internet. I'm Sanjeevni Mandloi, and today we'll delve into the fascinating world of aquariums. Hey, don't give me that look. It's going to be fun, I promise. Just trust me. Before we begin, I think you should know I've never really been to one. I just have been fascinated by them all my life. And then I chanced upon a PBS documentary based on the Monterey Bay Aquarium. It's called Oceans in Glass, and I've been obsessively researching aquariums since I saw it. This deep dive into the world of aquariums has made me realize there's a human fascination for the marine world that actually goes back centuries, given that oceans and seas have always been the part of our biome that we couldn't explore as much as we wanted to. Because, well, we can't really breathe underwater, na? For our ancestors, this lack of knowledge translated into wonder and then imagination. I mean, look at the amount of folklore and inspired stories related to sirens, mermaids, sea creatures, and other fictional sea monsters all of us have heard about growing up. This expansive, ever changing part of our planet that was in equal parts beautiful and scary was so inaccessible for so long. And then slowly we began exploring. We began learning, knowing, researching it closely. Today, we've recreated this world inside infrastructures that we've built. We have places where the ocean literally flows through the walls. We've recreated entire microbiomes just to facilitate a life that could be put on display. These are portals to a universe that no less than 7 decades ago was yet to be seen by human eyes. If the idea of aquariums doesn't blow your minds, I don't know what will. Of course, the idea for these huge-ass public aquariums was preceded by simple fish-keeping practices that started out as a status symbol for many back in the 1800s. So, mostly, until about the 1840s, fish-keeping in aquariums was something done either by scientists or those wealthy enough to have such interests. Then, they decided to build the first large public aquarium at the London Zoo, and they called it a fish house. This was back in 1853. And also, they called it a fish house, man. That's like so cute. The locals took great interest in it. And the success of the fish house meant it became fashionable to collect exotic and strange species for public display. Well, particularly by other privately owned competitors of the zoo. But yeah. By the 1860s though, other cities in Europe like Paris had started building large public aquariums too. And just like that, aquariums became a full-blown fad in the United Kingdom. But of course, like all other things that took flight and became successful in the West, the concepts of modern aquariums go back to Eastern history and have colonial theft written all over it. Duh. It is believed that ancient Egyptian societies likely kept fishes as pets, but Chinese cultures were the first to greatly focus on raising fish specifically for their ornamental looks. Today, public aquariums serve as a way for non-scientific people to observe aquatic animals and learn about ecological processes through a hands-on, immersive 4D experience that isn't just concerned about the aesthetics of it. These places don't mistake marine life with an artifact ready to be put up for display like fish tanks at our homes do, man. In technologically driven societies, both scientists and educators advocate making science interesting and applicable. Aquariums help make this an achievable reality. But there's always a catch. There's a never-ending debate going on about the ethics and morality of aquariums. The problem is, fish which would in the wild swim many miles a day get confined and subjected to stress and shock. They get injured from being mishandled or suffer in poor health due to deficient diets. Handmade bombs and sodium cyanide are still sometimes used to stun and capture fish. This kills many in the initial shock, or weakens the survivors and damages the surrounding habitat. To combat this mistreatment, catch and release philosophy has emerged. At the UCLUET, listen, you know what, I've tried this about 17 times now and I can't pronounce this word. So I'm just not going to. At the aquarium in Colombia, each spring, divers collect animals from the local waters by hand. The giant Pacific octopuses, sea stars, tiger rockfish, and all other sea creatures they gather are displayed at the aquarium. At the end of November, these animals are returned to their wild homes. They've made a tradition out of this practice. And the release of these creatures back to the sea is a full-fledged event over there now. So, good for you, you Cluelette Aquarium. Yay! See, the way large aquariums function is a marvel of engineering, and there's no better way to put it. They're built to withstand massive earthquakes. They have multiple nutrient cycles running simultaneously. They have a near continuous supply of seawater, which is very tough to achieve and very necessary, because without it there'd be a whole lot of complications. They are also very tough to maintain, because everything from glass cleaning to choked off pipelines is a fucking hazard to humans who try to make it work, and to all the different species that are being housed in there. The process of keeping a large public aquarium running is super challenging, but has been proven to be worth it for years, I'm guessing, because we're still at it. I mean, now we know how to make seawater from scratch, but earlier we used to fill rows upon rows of tankers with water from the sea, and then we transported it to cities that had these aquariums. Wow. See, my fascination with aquariums was primarily because I found them to be magical. That's it. But while researching for this video, I've realized it's not magic. It's not. It's just human hunger for something and our stubbornness to get it. We're ziddi like that. We looked at something inaccessible, channeled our inner Ariana and went,
I see it, I like it, I want it,
I got
it, yeah, I want it, I got it, I want it, I got it, I want it, I got it, I want it.
So that was dumb, and so let's just forget that happened, okay? Yeah. So we want to wipe out boundaries, to lift veils and look beyond them. We want to learn and to be awed at the same time. We've merged nature and art and are still confused if it was the right thing to do. Because of course there has to be a difference between the way one views, appreciates, perceives and attaches value to the both of them, right? Right? A line from the famous Aamir Khan movie song goes, ऐसी रंगों भरी अपनी दुनिया है क्यों? सोचो ना, प्यार से चुनकर इन रंगों को किसी ने सजाया ये संसार है. जो इतनी सुंदर है अपनी दुनिया, ऊपर वाला क्या कोई कलाकार है? On second thought, maybe it is magic after all. All this need to know, all this persistence, this human hunger, maybe it is magic. Maybe aquariums are magic. Also, before I go, I know aquarium का plural aquaria होता है, but it just sounds wrong in my head, and so I decided not to bother and have said aquariums for the entire length of the video. So please don't hate me. Cool. I guess I'll see you next time then. Okay, bye.